Let's get educated. That's why we're here, to bring you the stories impacting K-12 classrooms and college campuses. It's time for a little education.
Hello, everyone. What's happening? What's the skinny? Well, we're about to tell you. It is I, of course, Katie Petrick, today joined by Mr. David Fiorazzo. He's still over there. He hasn't left. Now, before we get started, do you like listening to podcasts? Yes? Okay. Well, make sure you are subscribed to the Educated podcast so you never have to miss an episode. We are on all of the major platforms, including the Apple, SoundCloud, Spotify, and basically everywhere else. Just search for the show Educated or visit stayeducated.org to click on the direct link. All right. Now, the term family friendly, and I'm putting that in air quotes for all our podcast listeners.
Yes.
Family friendly is being used to describe basically everything these days. Oh, it's family friendly, so it's okay. And that includes drag shows all the way up to strip clubs. And now a mama bear is going to war with her school board over it. All right, mama bear, what's happening? I'm not calling you mama bear because you're not a mama bear, but we have a mama bear.
When I saw this video, boom.
Mama bear.
You're going to see it in a minute. But her name is Brittany Mayer, and she accused the Encinitas Union School District of acting as groomers and activist pimps after it invited community youth and families to a queer Halloween party featuring, quote, a family-friendly drag show. So let's watch this video and get ready. Fasten your seatbelts.
I just want to know what it is that makes a drag show family friendly, because if you follow it to its logical conclusion, you can slap family friendly titles on anything. You can have family friendly gentlemen's clubs, family friendly strip shows, family friendly 50 Shades of Grey read alouds. Will you approve my flyer if I want to host an all the sex secrets of the Kama Sutra for kids and families if it's family friendly? That's my question.
Wow.
What is it about a grown man, and I honestly, sincerely, as a woman, mean this, what is it about a grown man costumed in a sparkly bra with augmented boobs busting out, a leather miniskirt barely covering his twerking ass with tuck tape on his front while spreading his fish-netted legs as he writhes on the ground, grinding his groin next to a minor, family-friendly? You owe us an answer. And while we have a culture that has a massive problem with child porn, with sex trafficking, you, a little school district board of adults, made the decision to feature an event to hypersexualize young children. Do you want to know that the word that defines that? It's groomer. You all played the activist pimp for an Align Surgical Center and for a 21 plus gay bar. It makes you groomers and activist pimps, and we won't have those sitting on a school board who oversees the education of our children.
Yes.
Yes. She's the real queen there. Yes, queen.
Where are you mama bears like this across the country? I'm just thanking God for that. And I hope it's not too late to still go to these school board meetings and actually have some sort of impact, because I think they kind of turn a deaf ear to some parents when they come in.
And especially, you were talking about we're in California for this story. But again, as we've shown time and time and time again on our show, Educated, it doesn't stay in California, and it's gone all over the country, everywhere at this point. If you are in a state that we haven't reported on, well, we're probably about to. But time and time again, it is California. And I'm thankful that this mom basically presented the logical conclusion. As she said, at this point then, it's like these school boards are kind of the pimps. They're like facilitating all of this. And I do find it very interesting and funny, hilarious, in fact, that this is supposed to be for a Halloween party, but like, how do you know who's dressed up and this is just what they wear? No, I mean, Halloween used to be, like a scary time, but that's true, I guess, in this, and I'm talking if no one even dresses up outside of the drag queens.
Well, more recently, Halloween has become hyper-sexualized, not just scary ghosts and goblins, but I like, some of the things in this article. The teachers' unions and public school boards across America have decided that one way to teach about, quote, tolerance is to expose children to sex shows. And this is actually happening. Forgive us for being redundant, but a lot of people, believe it or not, are just now catching up and finding out what's happening because they have been ignoring it or not paying attention for so many years. Friends, the reason we're showing you school board meeting after school board meeting of parents coming out and being angry and upset is because they've had it, because this has been going on for so long.
Well, and you're not, again, because this is what happens, is as soon as anyone who with common sense assigns a term like groomer, that's what grooming is, and you can groom in various areas. It's not just groomer to sexualization of children in schools. That's not the definition of being a groomer. But in this instance, their children are being groomed and conditioned to make it feel like this is normal. This is what normal is to them, because little by little, over time, just a little, they get told it's okay. It's okay if a guy is just dressing up. He just likes to dress up. That's fine. That's fine.
That's
and
normal.
all of these things, and it's infiltrated every aspect of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
We can admit that. And what comes to mind right away, Scooby-Doo. Last week when we reported on the new Halloween special.
Nothing is sacred anymore.
We have to have the character come out as a lesbian. Okay, why? Just why? But that's where we are with every little thing. Oh, it's okay. And we've said, okay, it's okay so many times now that we've just been smacked in the face with these drag queens calling themselves a family-friendly event. And as she said, what's family-friendly about a sparkly bra with augmented boobs, a man busting out a leather miniskirt barely covering his twerking back end with tuck tape on the front, spreading his fish-netted legs as he writhes on the ground, grinding his groin next to a minor. What about that is family friendly? But that is what we're calling all these events, to make them seem like it's okay.
So where is this going? Think about family friendly, those words, what they used to mean 50 to 75 years ago. What would our great grandparents call family friendly? And now you look at today and what's been normalized and sexualized and sugar-coated and justified, right? It is evil. They're calling evil good. And by slipping this term, family friendly, there's nothing, like she described, there's nothing family friendly about that. And this is why drag shows, it's interesting, the left and media, Hollywood, government schools, they're using drag shows to become the focal point here of this comprehensive sex education. It started in little small town libraries, drag queen story hour. Oh, it's just a fun and entertaining thing. There's a guy dressed up like a woman, and it's just family friendly. They're reading kids' stories. They're not reading kids' stories anymore because it's been sexualized and they're reading perverse material. But comprehensive sexual education has become the cornerstone of the progressive agenda. We've been trying to warn you for quite a long time. That's why, a lot of parents, I should say, have been taking their kids out of the public schools. But you still got to deal with the libraries, right, in your town, and you've got to go to those school board meetings, and you have to still keep up with everything because they're going to try to slip it in and influence your kids in other ways.
All right, well, still to come, we have a drag queen and a teacher in Alabama who's facing the wrath after making sexual comments to children during a drag queen story hour.
Gasp!
Hosted at a dog shelter. But don't worry, you guys, it's family friendly. That's next.
If you have a smartphone, tablet, Roku, or Apple TV, consider downloading the Freedom Project Media app. It's 100% free and includes all of our weekly shows, plus lecture series, archive programs, and award-winning animated videos for families like the Presidential Minute, Battles of America, and Heroes of the West. Don't rely on the social media giants to keep you informed. Simply download the Freedom Project Media app from your app store and allow notifications. And we'll let you know when a new video is ready.
Well, Huntsville, Alabama. They have a middle school. That middle school is called Mountain Gap. Mm-hmm. And at that school is a math teacher named James Miller. James Miller teaches the math, but when he's not doing that, he likes to have another job that's called being a drag queen. So he's got a drag persona named Ms. Majesty Divine.
No surprise.
No surprise. And he decides that he goes to drag queen story times at libraries, but hey, it's not the drag queens. It's not just for the humans. It's for the doggies too.
No, we've got to draw the line somewhere.
Somewhere.
Dogs, that's where you got.
So he goes to dog shelters. And so at one drag queen story time, it was hosted at the Hard Knocks Rescue and Training, Inc. You get my giggle on that one?
Yeah.
You know how I do that? Okay, well, at that animal rescue organization, Miller read aloud from the book, Walter, the Farting Dog, banned from the beach.
Oh,
so we're going to read dogs, a book called Walter the Farting Dog, banned from the beach. All right, then. Well, occasionally throughout reading this book, Miller paused and he would offer his own commentary for some comedic effect. If you've ever read stories, well, I guess to little children or apparently dogs, you want to have a little humor in there. Pause sometimes, show some pictures, do that sort of thing. And well, Miller decided, or should I say Majesty? I'm not sure what it goes by, but Miller would reference a character that was in the book who had complained about a slice of key lime pie, and he offered an aside then that said, somebody needs to tell Karen to shut the HE double hockey sticks up. And then he said, oops, sorry kids, because there were children in the audience. So he would offer some of these little asides, and then it turns out the comments he was making, not so good. As he read from the book, he said, you never know where an old bone might be hiding. He detected something under the sand and dug more frantically. A treasure, a bone, and it's a big one. That's in the book. And then, of course, Miller had to joke that everybody loves a big bone.
The dog was Walter, digging happily in the sand. You never know where an old bone might be hiding. He detected something under the sand and dug more frantically. A treasure, a bone, and it's a big one. Everybody loves a big bone. See, that's not fair. He's thinking hot dogs. Got hot dogs on the brain. Yes, all men with meat on the brain have it. We're not still live, are we? Oh, we are.
Oh, we're still a little bit live. Say goodbye, James.
Can I just mention something about the intelligence of animals? Did you notice they were not even interested in what he was reading or talking about? Well, we've got humans, parents, and bringing their children to these drag queen story hours, letting their kids listen to this garbage, and you got the dog showing us an example of what to do. Hey, I'm just worried about the food here. Give me a treat. You know, what's he talking about? I don't care. Give me a treat.
I've had enough of this. But here's the kicker about this entire thing. That was a family-friendly event, was it not? The only reason we have any of this video is because it was live streamed on the Facebook page of the shelter. And you heard right at the end him saying, oh, we're still live. Like he said, we're not still live, are we? As in, oh, I am only making these comments not for everyone to hear, because then it was probably a wrong comment to make that everyone would hear. But all of you children and dogs in the audience, I guess, can hear it.
But,
Oops.
I'm sure Mr. Miller knows not to make these kinds of comments in his classroom as a teacher.
Oh, yes, as a teacher.
Right.
Well, positive news. Because, again, of this live stream, his school then, the Huntsville School District, actually placed him on paid administrative leave indefinitely as they investigate, which I get that they always have to get put on paid administrative leave, but of course, whatever.
Paid vacation.
Exactly.
He gets rewarded with a paid vacation.
So let's see if anything comes of it, because the comments he was making are absolutely not appropriate. And especially being a middle school teacher, you're supposed to be teaching math. Teach them math. Who knows what else is actually happening in that classroom?
All right, coming up, friends, the transgender shop teacher who has gone viral for sporting an unusually large chest is at it again, and parents are speaking out. Stay with us.
Today's show is sponsored by our friends at MyPillow. Save up to 66% on pristine quality bedding, towels, slippers, signature pillows, and much more when you use the code EDUCATED. That's EDUCATED, educated. Support this show and a great American company.
Well, you may want to avert your eyes at this next story because we're back up in Canada where we have that shop teacher. Remember the male shop teacher who's decided to not only dress as a woman but also put within the sweater that he wears 2 large watermelons with some.
They're not real watermelons though, are they?
That would be really heavy and bad for
It
your
would be
back.
very heavy.
But I'm not sure what the material is made of, but also have the nipples showing through the sweaters.
Yule.
Anyway, basically he's making some noise, but it's actually not him making the noise. It's a local rebel media who's making noise on his behalf. Just check out a video we have.
Oh, before you get started, 1 second, please. I'd like to present a petition called Protect the Students. We've had over 16,000 signatures. It reads, the Halton District School Board and the Director of Education, Curtis Innes, should be fired for allowing a female identifying shop teacher to wear enormous fake breasts that are barely contained by see-through blouses while teaching. Who is going to take this petition? Who is going to take this petition? And why did you throw Stephen Hanna under the bus by allowing him to be misidentified as Carrie Lemieux, aka Kayla Lemieux? Folks, do you want to see this school board take this petition or what?
No normal person in their right mind would dress up like that and go teach kids. Come on.
Yeah.
Are you guys okay in your head?
Why is
Oakville's becoming a mockery of the world. What's wrong with you guys? Come on. Stop this. Get this teacher out of here. Get him out of that school by Monday for sure.
What are you going to do? Who's going to take this?
Come on, eh?
Not in your right mind,
we just
eh?
want our Tim Hortons, and we just want our kids to go to school and not have to deal with it. This has become a comedy show.
Well, it has, and so that was actually David Menzies of Rebel News up in Canada, and so he showed up in the attire that as he goes by now this year. Kayla Lemieux, it's the shop teacher at Oakville Trafalgar High School in Oakville, Ontario. Oh, Ontario, and so. David Menzies, decided to show up looking like the teacher does every single day in front of the students and say, here's what you got. And he was trying to present a petition. And then he said, 16,000 people are actually saying, this is not right. And are you going to take this petition? School board. And they're all like, no, we can't. And you saw what happened in the video.
It's interesting. In America, I think they would cut off the mic of someone. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, for that,
and the security guy won't touch him. He just
was
walks
like,
by. He's standing next to him.
There.
But in Canada, I mean, well, in America too, I guess they wouldn't physically grab the guy or anything. But
I guess it depends on which school district we're talking about.
Oh.
Now, if we're in Virginia, he would have been given 1 minute and the mic would have been cut off after probably the first 15 seconds. And no one would be in the audience because they're all so scared in Fairfax.
Is it Fairfax
and Loudoun?
or Loudoun?
Both
Loudoun
of them.
County, yeah.
But Loudoun County is, I guess, the worst one. But at this point, I think we should do a ranking of school boards and how
that would be fun.
accessible
you got
they
Baltimore, Atlanta.
So what we need
California.
then, where we're going off idea here on the run, we need you, audience, to send us information about how your school board operates. Are parents allowed to sit in the audience? Do they get more than 1 minute to talk? What happens? Do people cut off other people's mics? Let us know. Head over to stayeducated.org. Give us the information. Give us some details so we can do some further research. And maybe, you know what? We'll rank our best, air quotes, school boards. I think we just came up with a brilliant idea here.
I think, yeah.
The watermelon-sized breasts
Yep.
have inspired great knowledge, I guess.
Well, people watch from across the country, and so if you've been to a school board meeting and you have any information on how they operate, do they actually listen to parents? Do they cut you off? We've heard so many stories about that. If you've got a personal story, go to stayeducated.org. Contact one of us. Let us know if you have a personal story at your school board meeting on how they policed the environment if the parents were upset.
You just saw what happens in Canada. What happens here in the U.S., I guess.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Before we go is up next as we discuss an incredible young man living out his dream to play football with his friends despite having no arms. This is a great story. Stay right here.
We want to hear from you. If you have a question or comment for Katie, David, or any of our other show hosts, simply visit stayeducated.org. That's stayeducated.org and submit your question or comment. Our team loves to hear from you and might just give you a shout out on air. Again, visit stayeducated.org and connect with us.
All right, before we go, I wanted to start with an incredible story of perseverance as a 7th grader in Iowa is seeing his dreams come true by suiting up for his high school's football team. Just watch this young man.
Thaddeus Longmire was born without arms, but that doesn't stop him from playing the game he loves.
Football's very fun and that stuff, being a tight end and blocking and feeling like a part of the team.
When Thad said he wanted to play tackle football for the Northwest Junior High 7th grade team, let's just say there were some doubters out there.
No one ever really said I couldn't do it. They just give me like looks and that stuff. That made me feel like that I should do it to prove I'm wrong.
Even though he knows he will never score a touchdown, he takes pride in his blocking.
It's kind of hard to score a touchdown because I can't hold the ball really. So can't really like score a touchdown, but maybe like blocking to get a touchdown.
Takes a lot of pride in seeing his teammates have that success, and he's a selfless person. He doesn't care if he scores the touchdown. He wants the team to get the touchdown. It's good inspiration for for his teammates to see, hey, if Thad's out here putting in the work every day, then they have no excuse to be out there.
Because if he can do it without arms, why couldn't I do it with arms?
Yeah, if he can do it, why couldn't I do it with arms?
Well,
He's inspiring other students.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's the kind of story. These are the kinds of stories to show people that you can overcome pretty much anything if you really, really want to. With the help of others, you can get there.
Perseverance. All right, speaking of stories that'll touch your heart, you all know that I'm a dog lover. Well, a TikToker has gone viral with her latest post cuddling up with her 2-year-old Rottweiler, Axel. So she explained in an on-screen text that Axel was seeking comfort because no one wanted to pet him in the park, and he didn't understand why. Apparently, Axel went up to people looking for someone to pet him, but everyone seemed too afraid, probably because of his breed. The video has been viewed more than 9 million times. We actually had friends of ours that had a Rottweiler that was one of the most gentle, and he even would run if you came to the door. It wasn't scary at all. But Katie, would you pet that pup if it came up to you in the park?
Oh, if he came up to me in park, not with his owner.
With
hugging.
the owner, let's just say.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it all comes down to ownership and how the pup is raised, much like children.
That's
so
true.
Whether or not like how they're going to behave, he looks adorable.
That's true.
And sweet.
Yep, it's how you raise them. Finally, here's an odd story that seemed perfectly to fit for this segment. A horse in Utah has returned home after 8 years of being lost and running with wild Mustangs. Shane Adams lost his horse, Mongo, while camping in Utah's West Desert. And the horse was tied up outside a tent, but a herd of wild Mustangs ran past the camp, and Mongo took off with his newfound friends. Shane tried everything he could to find his horse, but 8 years later, the Bureau of Land Management was rounding up a herd of Mustangs near a military property and found Shane's brand on one of the horses. Mongo was returned back home, 18 years old now, and a few hundred pounds underweight. Shane and the family say they're thankful to have him back. Katie, that's a tale that's fit for a Hallmark special. They could make a movie out of that.
Well, is Candace going to be in it? There would have to be another love interest of some sort. And they'd have to go, obviously, go away, and then come home. So, and unless Mongo gets like a partner or something, I don't know if it will be Hallmark specific, but close.
Well, that wraps up this segment. More to come next time. Katie?
All right, make sure to smash that like button if you are watching us on social media, and please do send us your feedback, your ideas, especially about the school boards, by going to stayeducated.org, as David is so clearly doing right now. Now, for David and myself, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and thank you for supporting this show. Until next time, stay educated.